All right, this is another video on the geometric die, and at this point I've already showed you the pentagons on the top view, the circle on the front view, the triangles on the bottom. So there's a few sides left that we can do together. I'm not going to show you the back view because that is just plain squares. The only thing you have to do is line them up, but you can just use the collinear for the two columns. You can use horizontals for the sides, and all you actually need is a couple dimensions, and it'll take care of that. So once you do the others, that's a piece of cake. Let's look at the diamonds on the side with two right now. So let's go ahead and sketch on the right view. I'm going to grab my line tool, and I'm just going to sketch the diamond out. It's not going to be perfect, and that's fine. I'm actually just going to, so I can start sketching two out, but I like to focus on one and get that done. So let's look at what we have right now. We've got a couple dimensions, top to bottom, left to right, and then we have an angle dimension. I think I'm going to start with the angle dimension. So that is going to be essentially from here to here. So here's our angle, and this is 69.7. All right. As you can see here, I have two parallel constraints. Sometimes a perpendicular will come in here. A perpendicular will not work for a diamond. There are no 90-degree angles, so you cannot have a perpendicular. So if there are any, then you need to highlight them and delete them. Now, the next part is where people have a lot of trouble dimensioning, like the 2 points. If you look, the dimension lines are slightly moving around. The easiest way I find to do this is to use construction lines. So click the line tool, come over to the right, click construction, and make some lines that go between these 2 points. And yes, they're kind of all angular and screwed up right now, but that's irrelevant. The real easy way to do this is to use some constraints. Let's do a vertical horizontal. I'm going to say vertical horizontal to make that vertical, and I want this horizontal. And just right there, that solved a lot of my problems. And if you've tried to do this without that, then you understand what I'm talking about. I can also use these lines for my dimensions. So if I click on that, I can make that the 5.08 millimeters from the drawing here, and then the 7.3 is going to be on the bottom. 7.3. All right. So now we are mostly good to go. Now if I take a point and put it right at the the intersection of those two construction lines, now I can locate based on that point. All right, I think this is pretty much good. I'll know if I need to add any other constraints into this after I dimension to the edge. So the same way I've done other 25.4 divided by 4, 6.35, that is correct. I'm going to do it according to the, in referencing the top edge now, 6.35, tomato, tomato. And the fact that everything is black in my sketch on the browser shows that it's fully constrained, means I don't have to add any other constraints in here, which means if I had tried, I probably would not have let me. So that's how we get our diamond. Now that said, I was actually supposed to reference the right side, so I have some options what I can do here. I can just delete that and drag it to the bottom, and then just reference the bottom. That's probably the easiest way of doing it. 6.35. All right. Now I just follow that process and make another one up here. Other than that, it's a piece of cake. Or let's see if my cut and paste will work right now. Cut and paste worked. Well, that's another nice little tool. Now to do that, all I did was I used a box to highlight all the objects. I drag from the top right to the bottom right. It highlights everything. I can also just manually click it. If I hold down Control and just click all the lines, it'll duplicate everything that's highlighted. So it's all blue, it's all highlighted. If I hold down Control and I hit C and I hit V, that's one way, the shortcut way to duplicate it.